Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different type video. I did have something else planned for today. However, it is raining outside today, and so the video that I had planned with the Shelby, I can't really do it anymore just because of the rain. And then on top of that, I woke up at like 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I kind of don't have any time for anything else. So I decided to switch plans and make a little bit of a different video. And obviously, judging by the title of the video, we can kind of just get right into that. And so at the beginning of the story for this video was basically 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, I was at one of the universities here in Utah. And I was one of those kids that always loved school. I am not someone who hates school. I plan on actually, eventually, I don't know when this is going to happen, but either, teaching in some way or form or going back to school. It's just my thing. It's something that I really love. But that all being said, about 3 years ago, I was going to one of the universities here, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I had all of my generals already finished at, 19 years old. I had pretty much finished them in high school, and so going to college was just declare a major, and once you declare a major, go through school, find your career, and that's it, right? And that's kind of like the path that everyone tells you to go along nowadays, but it just didn't quite add up for me because I go through that semester, I do a bunch of like exploratory classes, and I kind of am like, okay, well, I'll try this. No, I don't like that. And I'll try this. No, I don't like that. And I went through literally, I feel like a million different career fields, and I just could not find the one that I really, really liked. And every time that I try to think of a job, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this job and I'll get this career or whatever, I'll do this degree and get this career. And it always like stressed me out. I was like, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I'm going to be completely miserable if I do that for the rest of my life. So I took a really, really big step back, and I said, okay, well, I need to stop doing what I'm doing now because it's not working, and I need to figure out something else. So what I did is after that first semester, I was like, I'm done. I had scholarships and everything, and I mean, this seems like the worst thing that you could ever do. It's like I'm having the majority of school paid for because of these scholarships, and I'm just leaving. It just doesn't make sense, but I just couldn't do that. And at the same time, I was still working up at one of the ski resorts here, and like I said by the title of the video, I was making like 10, 11 bucks an hour, and I was like, this isn't going to work either. So I then looked for jobs, and I was like, I really like cars. I kind of had this like little car bug. After that first semester of school, I was like, I really like cars, so I want to do something with cars. That's when I looked at dealerships, and I was like, well, I'll just sell them. And so I applied to a bunch of different dealerships, and then I actually applied to a Honda dealership. And the Honda dealership was like, yeah, we don't really need you. We really like you, though, so we have another dealership that sells Dodges and Jeeps. How about you go there? And I was like, okay, I guess. I interviewed there, and I'm like, I'm not really sure if I want to do this. I don't really like commission-type jobs. And they're like, well, it's not actual commission. You get paid off of volume, so if you sell a certain amount of cars, you get paid a certain amount of money. Doesn't matter what they are. And I was like, I mean, that seems pretty reasonable, so I'll try it out. I tried that out, and I've always had this thing where I work, pretty much every single day. There's a law in Utah where dealerships have to close on Sundays, so you can't work on Sundays, but whenever I do something, I do it every single day of the week, and that's my first thing, my first kind of like tip and tidbit of, I guess you could say success, is you have to do the same thing every single day no matter what. And so I would work really, really hard every single day at this job, and I kept working hard and working hard and working hard. And then an opening opened up on the internet team, and that was the biggest change for me. Is I was working really hard and proving my worth to this employer that I was at, and at the same time, it just happened to be the right place at the right time where an opening popped up for a particular position. I, of course, take that position, and I apply the same thing. I do the same things every single day, no matter what, no matter how I feel, and I progress through that internet team. And then I progress up to the point where after, the end of 2017 and then into the beginning of 2018, I get to the point where I'm doing more volume than anyone else at my store, and I'm getting salesman of the month consistently, And it's because I had this discipline that nobody else had. There are plenty of people that I work with, and I'm sure that a couple of them will watch this video, and I'll tell this right now, they're better at my job than I'm better at it. I can tell you that right now. They are better with interacting with people. They're better at quote unquote selling than I am. The only thing that I do that has made it so that I, exceeded what they were doing was just I outworked them. And that's something that will help you out in life more than anything else, is just that consistency. And if you outwork everyone else, even if you're not the best at it, which anyone that knows me personally can tell you that I am never someone who's instantly good at something, and the only reason that I am ever pretty much better than anyone else at anything is because I just purely outwork the competition. The fact that I do things 7 days a week and I'm doing them no matter how I feel. I take time off for myself, but I don't, take time off all the time to the extent that it, damages things for me. Now at this point I'm working at this job, and like I said, consistently just having the most volume at where I'm working, getting sales within a month, and I'm not going to put exact numbers on it. I don't feel comfortable with that kind of stuff, but I'm making more money than I would have ever thought that I would be making in my life. Just a couple years prior, I had the mentality of, I'm going to be a teacher, and I mean, you can just look up starting wages for teachers in pretty much any state, or I was like, okay, well maybe I'll be I'll get like a degree and be a professor or something like that, or maybe I'll be a business owner. And you can look at all these different things, right? You can look at all these different vocations and how much time you have to put into getting a degree into that, and then how much money you'll be making. And I can tell you right now, all of the careers that I considered, I was at this point making more money than what any of those careers are making, and I didn't have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of debt and student loans because I didn't go to school, right? I stopped going to school. But I'm at this point, and this is actually where I had another kind of, I guess you could call it a quote-unquote freak out, where I just felt really, really uncomfortable and stressed out. And it was because I had gotten to the point where I could progress a little bit more than what I was at, but not that much more. I was pretty much at the top for the place that I was at. And that's when I really started doing stuff with YouTube again, is I was like, I need to change again. I need something where I can progress in, where the ceiling's a little bit higher. And so I started making YouTube videos, and I made them a little bit last year. Not really. That was just kind of me doing stuff for work mainly and just for customers. This year is when I fully have put myself into it, where it's something that I do, right? It's my passion. It's my vocation. I see it as an actual career or job, whatever you want to call it. That's my thing. At February this year, the end of February, I started making videos every single day. And some of you that have been subscribed to me since then, you can see the difference of making one video a month to making a video every single day. And a lot of you are pretty new to my channel, and so this is going to kind of, I guess, introduce some of what's happened over this little bit. But it was the same thing with the dealership. I make videos every single day, or at the dealership I was interacting with customers every single day and working towards making sales every single day. And that's why I was successful, and that's why I'm not saying that I'm successful on YouTube yet. I don't have a huge following, but the fact that I can go from having basically no following at the end of February, beginning of March, to now it's May, and I have over 1 million views on my channel now, and I have, at this time, 4,000 something subscribers, which, like I said, it's not a ton, but the amount that it's changed, the percentage that it's gone up is huge. And it's just purely because I'm outworking, right? I'm just outworking other people and all that stuff, and that's why it's expanding so quickly and so fast. Is I'm constantly releasing content. I'm working towards this channel every single day. Like today, for example, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I shouldn't make a video. I should just relax for the rest of today, coast through it, but I'm still making a video because I'm committed to doing something every single day to progress this channel forward, or to progress things forward for myself. Now, that all being said, there is no secret to success. You, kind of like I said before, you have to be at the right place at the right time, but you need to be prepared for what's going to happen, with this channel, me being at the right place at the right time was working at a Jeep dealership and building a relationship with what you guys know, the Strad man. His name's James, if you don't know his personal name. But building a relationship with James and having my channel prepared so that basically I'm building this relationship, and now I can kind of, to an extent, not to a large extent, but to a small extent, piggyback off of his coattails, right? Because he's such a successful automotive YouTuber, and the knowledge that he's given me with stuff on YouTube and all the stuff that he's helped me out with has been absolutely immense. And if I hadn't been at the dealership that I was at, it probably would have never happened. So that was at the right place at the right time. But then I also had this YouTube channel that I had started making videos every single day, and that was being prepared for when that opportunity arose. I was ready for it. And so that would be the thing that I would say for all of you guys to be successful is work hard, and if you have the ability, work towards your goal every single day, no matter what. But there is going to be a little bit of luck, but the thing about luck is you have to be prepared to accept that luck. Because if I, on my job side of things, if I hadn't been working really hard before the internet team opening happened, even though people usually don't leave that position, so someone could have left that position, and let's say I was just being a lazy salesperson and not doing anything, I wouldn't have been put onto the internet team. So yes, I was at the right place at the right time, but then I also was working hard so that I was prepared to be there. And that's my biggest message for you guys. Sorry for a little bit of a rant, I guess, on everything, but that's just what I would say is if you want to be successful in anything in life and you want to, make a ton of money in what you're doing, it might not necessarily happen with every career path. I've been very lucky, and I'm grateful for that the stuff that I've chosen has been very lucrative financially. But I feel like if you work hard enough towards anything that you do and you put just every bit of, ounce of yourself into it, then you'll be successful. I mean, I shouldn't say no matter what, but from my experience in life, I haven't been the best at anything that I've done, but I've always outworked everyone, and it's put me to being the best. But that all being said, if you are stopping in for the first time, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. It always helps out, and most of the stuff I do is review stuff. I don't really do videos like this all that often, but I will occasionally. I've considered opening up a second channel to do more stuff like this because I like to talk about stuff like this. But I will see all of you in that next video.